Hello, everyone, and welcome to Movie Club. This is going to be such a fun episode because we watched maybe the funnest movie ever made, Lucky Number Slevin. You know, it's one of those things where I asked Rocco so many times to see this movie back when it came out. He wouldn't do it because of the title. He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. And so finally, this was our week to get Rocco to finally watch this masterpiece from 2006 or 7, and I was super amped to watch it. Then I'm gonna be, dude, I'm killing it with my purchase lately. I bought this movie. It was on sale, on iTunes. It was to rent. It was $4. To buy it was $5. So I just bought it. And I got 30 minutes into it, and I was like, this movie fucking sucks. It sucks. It's not good. It's so what a 20-year-old thinks would be a good movie. It's not a good movie. Why did I ever like this? I'm so embarrassed. It's so trying to be cool. And so I texted Rocco saying, Rocco, can we please not do Lucky Number Slevin? Can we watch a different movie instead? Can we just watch like Bloodsport or something? And he said, sure. So
no problem for me. I heard the title Lucky Number Slevin and thought, this shit sounds like it sucks. So
dude,
it was fine.
It was just trying so fucking hard to be cool. And I didn't fall for that when I first saw it. I thought it was cool. And now that I'm older with fresh eyes, I saw this and thought, this is so gross. This is like, this sucks so bad. So anyways, if you watched Lucky Number Slevin, I could not apologize more. I am sorry. Not good. Not a good movie. I wasted your time. But hopefully no one did. And hopefully you've all seen Bloodsport, because that's the movie we're actually going to cover. We'll be covering... Oh, we can't really see his head there. Well, put it down a little bit. We'll be covering Bloodsport, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. A movie I've never seen before, but I was ready to watch literally anything before Lucky Number Slevin a second longer. So that's what I did. You know what it was for Rocco with Lucky Number Slevin? He walks in and his girlfriend is cheating on him. And it's like a graphic sex scene of this guy like and this girl are doing doggy style, and like it's her boobs are on the camera and whatever.
Okay.
Then he's just standing there drinking milk, watching. Josh Hartnett is watching, and she goes, "It was an accident." And then he goes, "What? Did you trip and fall?" And then took a sip of his milk. And I stopped it and went, "Fuck this! This sucks. Not good.
Man.
Not good. If this line's in the movie, not good." So I got the fuck out of there. So. Sorry, again, if you saw that scene.
Yeah, again, I just heard the title and thought, this is going to suck shit hard.
Yep.
So
you were right.
Didn't,
you were right. I was wrong.
Yeah.
I
heard the title Lucky Number Slevin.
The name.
And I thought I'd rather eat my own shit than watch
the
this.
name was correct. It's trying to be so fucking cool, right? It's trying to be cool. His name is Slevin.
Yeah.
I'm such an idiot. God, I'm so fucking stupid that I like that movie. But that's old Shawn. New Shawn is not putting up with this bullshit. Yeah. New Shawn says, fuck this. So we're not watching that. Anyways, that's what we do here. This is what we do here. So let's talk about Bloodsport. Have you seen that before?
I have seen this, yes. A long time ago, though, so I had to revisit it for this. I generally remembered it, but I wanted to revisit it for this one. So I watched it again.
I always knew going into it that like, oh, this is like where they got Mortal Kombat from, you know. But I didn't know anything else. I didn't really know that they, kind of based Johnny Cage off of this guy here. Like everything about this movie was like, oh, this really is just Mortal Kombat. Well,
I don't follow Mortal Kombat that heavily, so I can't speak to that. But I feel like the DNA of like every fighting game is in here.
That is true.
Personally, I grew up with Street Fighter.
Right.
And all of that is in here. The way everyone's cheering them on, the way that the everything is just displayed. It feels like they're in a fighting game stage.
Now, Mortal Kombat is basically it's obviously they took liberties from this, but it's a martial arts tournament that happens. I think it's every like 1,000 years or something like that, and it's again, you guys will know better than me, but if I recall, like Shao Kahn or something is trying to take over the Earth realm, but the only way that you can take over the Earth realm is if your combatants win in the Mortal Kombat. And so it's like Liu Kang has to save Earth because, but it's a tournament like this where it's like fight to the death, fight any way you can.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, happens. And then the guy, Johnny Cage, looks just like Jean Van Damme. Like even the same like signature, like his signature move is he has sunglasses, he does the splits and punches someone in the nuts. That's what he does.
Oh, yeah.
Like that is exactly what this is. Like to me, this was like, oh, this is just Mortal Kombat.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, this is like a secret fighting thing that happens once a year.
Yeah.
And you know, it's can Frank, was it Dukes? Which is also like to me, it's like Johnny Cage, Frank Dukes. That's the same shit to me.
Sure.
Like, personally. I don't know. That's how, but yeah, can he, you know, go into this tournament and defeat Chong Li? Which also Chong Li is very similar to Chun Li. Is that coincidence? Is that on purpose? I don't know.
Yeah, like I just felt the DNA of all those fighting games in this. Like it just felt like, oh, this is this. We're setting the stage. This is a type of video game we should make.
I think so, and I wonder what the landscape of fighting games would be had this movie never been made.
Yeah.
Do you think this is the jumping off point? This is an 88.
Yes.
When did the first fighting games come out?
I mean, there was a Street Fighter already before.
Oh, okay.
But Street Fighter 2, the one that everyone took notice of, was like 90, 91.
Is Chun Li in that, the first one?
Yeah. I don't know about Street Fighter 1, but 2, the one... Street Fighter 1 doesn't matter.
You know what?
That was its own thing.
That was a little kid thing of mine where I was like, where is Street Fighter?
Yeah,
I remember
that was never anywhere.
Being like, this is Street Fighter 2. Well, where is the first one?
Yeah, two was like the first one. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna look it up right now. Street Fighter 1 characters. But yeah, so this movie, let me see. Yeah, I don't see Chun Li. I don't see her. But I do see Ryu.
That's like Street Fighter Alpha characters.
Oh, Alpha. Come here, get out of this. Yeah, what is that? Arcades though?
I think in the original Street Fighter, I don't know if I've ever played it, but I feel like you can only be like Ken or Ryu or something.
Really interesting. Playable characters are Ken and Ryu. That's it.
Yep.
You're right.
Yep.
Wow.
Street Fighter Alpha is a fighting game series that it was a later game, but it takes place before Street Fighter.
I see.
Like it's a prequel game, but it was, just another fighting game.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so this movie, Bloodsport, came out in 88. Now, the best part that I laughed at, I don't know if I laughed as well, but I was like, what? Was when at the end, it's like, this is based on a true story. And Frank...
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
Frank Dukes has the record of winning 300 or something fights consecutively.
Yeah.
And I guess Frank Dukes, was like a consultant on this film.
Yeah.
And said that Jean-Claude Van Damme, his martial arts skills wasn't high. He wasn't good enough to play him. So he put him through another 3-month training thing. Jean-Claude Van Damme, who already is like a black belt and like everything.
Yeah.
This Frank Dukes was like, you're not good enough. And Jean-Claude Van Damme said that was the hardest training of his life, was the 3 months he trained with Frank Dukes to get ready for this movie.
From what I understand, there's also a lot of argument over Frank Dukes. How do you say it's not Ducks?
They say Dukes, I thought.
I like Ducks better.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, that there's a lot of argument over what he actually accomplished.
Oh, yeah, they said that he made this all up. Like,
yeah.
There is talk that none of this was real. There is no secret fighting thing, which I guess you would say. And also that he never worked for, was he in the CIA on this or something? Like, what did Jean-Claude Van Damme do in this movie? He's a U.S. Army captain.
Yeah.
But they're saying that none of that is correct at all.
Wow.
So basically, he just lied, according to what I've read, to get his name into Hollywood.
Yeah.
He was just trying to find any way. So he wrote the script. and then therefore changed video games forever by lying about. But the screenplay is based on what Dukes claimed. They covered this in the 1980 issue of Black Belt magazine, which who knew that was a thing. So they got him to serve as an action choreographer and a technical advisor. But after this came out, everyone, including the co-screenwriter Sheldon Leach, claimed that this is all made up. So
wow.
But there's never been any recorded existence of the Kumite.
Which, by the way, there has never been a movie where a word is repeated more.
Yeah.
This entire movie, Kumite. You're going to Kumite? How do I get into Kumite? Tell me about Kumite.
Don't go to Kumite.
You don't need to go to Kumite. Trust me, walk away from Kumite.
Kumite is bad news.
So am I coming with you to Kumite? No, you're going away from the Kumite.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This movie is a movie that I don't know how to describe this, where I was laughing at it.
Yeah.
But also enjoying it.
Yes.
You know, so it's not like it's like a bad movie, but in a fun way.
I'll just say maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but this is my shit.
Yeah.
This is where you're laughing at it like it's ridiculous, but it's also kicks ass. Like,
literally.
If you walk that line, you're gold. You know, better movie. I don't mean to compare it to this, but like They Live. You're kind of laughing how ridiculous it is, but at the same time, yo, this shit fucking rules.
I think I've seen They Live.
We didn't do that for Movie Club.
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought we did. Wow.
Well, if we did, I wasn't on the episode. I don't remember it.
Yeah.
I don't think we did that.
Okay. Well, anyway, you know, that kind of thing. That's a better movie than this, I think. But yeah, this to me is how a late 80s, early 90s action movie should be. Mm-hmm. Where it sucks, but it rules. You know, it's like it's corny, but it's not corny like, it's kind of a waste of time to watch that. It's like, no, that was some substantial shit. Give me more.
When we watched this, we watched it. It was me and Jenny, Jenny grew up on this movie and was like so excited.
Oh, okay.
That she's been asking me to watch this movie forever.
Okay,
and she finally was like, please just watch fucking Bloodsport. Like, it's such a fun movie. So it was me and then Beckett, Emma's boyfriend, and I think unanimously by the end they're like, that was awesome. You know, like they're like feeling it. You know,
yeah.
And again, it is so cheesy. But
yes,
that cheesy's not always bad.
No, I think no. You know, this makes the case for like how a movie should be to me, and how it makes the case for movies being different, and that's okay. To me, a martial arts movie, this is the fucking right vibe. I really hate the notion that all movies should behave the same. And it's funny because I've always thought, like, you know, when I watch like the Star Wars prequels, you know, I've always thought like the dialogue is fucking terrible in these. Yeah. But as I've gotten older, I'm like, I still don't think they're great movies. I'm not doing that kind of thing, but the dialogue should sound stilted like that. Like that's how a Star Wars prequel should sound. Like I shall do what I must, Obi-Wan. You know, it should sound campy. This to me is how a 90s martial arts movie should be. You know, if it was written like an Aaron Sorkin thing, I just wouldn't be as into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It also was like some parts like so clearly dubbed terribly. Yeah. That it was like almost jarring, where it's like, oh my God, this is a terrible dub for this moment.
But to me, that just sweetened the atmosphere.
Yeah. You know, I agree.
Really loved it.
Yeah, that kind of does. It's like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah, totally. Soundtrack is fantastic.
Yeah. Jean-Claude Van Damme, not the best actor in this movie.
No, but I think he's great for this.
Yeah, and but he is like the peak. He couldn't be more ripped. Yeah. He like is very handsome. Like you know, you root for him. You know, like it is like something that is like, it's a perfect action star for this movie. Yeah. This movie couldn't. Like, I don't know, like, it had to have him in it. I can't imagine anyone else doing this role. Yeah. But him.
But man, that soundtrack. When you gotta feel the bottom of kumite, kumite,
Yeah.
kumite, kumite. Again, you hear it so much, and it also resolved a long-standing question I had, which was I remember the original Dead or Alive. That was a fighting game on PlayStation and Saturn, and that had kumite mode. And I was always like, what the hell does that mean?
Now you know.
Questions answered.
Now you know what kumite mode is. Interesting. Well, let's get into the plot a little bit. Honestly, it's pretty simple. The plot of Mortal Kombat is much more complex than the plot of Bloodsport, for sure. But U.S. Captain Army, Frank Dukes is a captain in the U.S. Army, and he is trained in the ways of ninjutsu.
Is typically how I hear it.
Okay. Under his sensei, Shinzo Tanaka. Now, they go to a flashback of a sword, and then like they're going to break into this guy's house to steal the sword, and then is it his son who like stops him, and then basically he's like, you're a thief, but like my son needs a training partner, so I'm gonna teach you the ways of ninjutsu.
By the way, Tanaka is played by Roy Chow. Did you recognize him?
No. Maybe. No.
Star of one of the best movie opening acts ever, I would argue.
Oh.
You may disagree. Even though you mixed whatever on the rest of the movie, you gotta agree with me.
Okay.
The opening of Temple of Doom. I'll be taking the diamond back, Dr. Jones. What is that? The antidote for the poison you just drank.
Oh yeah.
He is Lao She in that
him.
opening. That opening is the anything goes, like shootout at the club, Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
That's a great opening.
Agree.
But anyway, yeah, he is Lao She. So I was happy to see him in this.
Wow. So he basically, it seems like this sensei, Shinzo Tanaka, is training his son to fight in the kumite. Like this is your lifelong goal, is to fight in the kumite. And your sparring partner Frank Dukes is just here to like encourage you, and he basically takes him in though, but like I have found that a lot of these movies, it's like the sensei type role is like the most abusive and mean to their disciple until they finally have earned their respect. But it takes years to get this. Like they're going to treat you like shit for a long time before you are respected. But his son, what is his son's name? Shingo? Maybe?
Yeah, Shingo.
He dies. He's dead, which is unfortunate. That's not what you want.
Yeah.
How does he die? I don't even remember, now that I think about it. How the fuck did that guy die?
He went fucking sex crazy and ran through a mall, and they had to subdue him. They tased him in the butthole.
That's not what happens.
I just made all that.
I don't remember how that happens. Huh. Well, he dies. Interesting that I don't remember that. But so obviously everyone is grieving, but then Frank Duke's like, you know what? You were training him to fight in the kumite. Fuck that. I will do this for you, and I will fight in his honor and your honor, Shinzo Tanaka. I will do this for you. Even though I'm a U.S. Army captain, I don't give a fuck. I got honor. So then it's a weird plot line. And also, Forrest Whitaker's in this movie. That was a surprise.
Yeah, young Forrest Whitaker.
That's a surprise. But then it's a weird plot line of like, I'm going to go fight in the kumite. I'm leaving the army. He's like, you can't do that, Frank. Frank, you can't do that.
Yeah. You have a duty.
Watch me. And so it's another plot line. You think that going to a fighting competition that's secret that you could die in was fascinating enough, but they had to add the layer of like, no, he actually left the army and went AWOL, and then they went looking for him because he was so valuable. And it's like, that's a bit much.
Yeah.
And especially considering that this guy, the real life Frank Dukes, made this all shit up. Like, you didn't need to add that part. It was already impressive enough with your story.
Yeah.
Anyways, so then he leaves and goes off on his own to fight in the kumite. He leaves for Hong Kong. He gets there. Now, they had this shot of him walking to the place where the secret place where the Kumite is held. It's walking down this weird hallway that goes on for at least 25 minutes. It's like, okay, like get off the hallway scene. Like he's walking in and looking serious, and it's like, okay, yep, I get it. And I've just never seen a longer hallway in my life. It's just, it's super weird.
This movie's got the longest hallways.
Longest fucking hallways. Anyways, so he befriends an American fighter named Ray Jackson. And they have a guide, Victor Lin, who is kind of like their translator and gets them around.
Which, by the way, the guy who plays Ray Jackson.
Yeah.
Apparently that's Donald Gibb. Why does he look so familiar?
I have no idea.
It's killing me.
Donald Gibb?
Normally I can figure these things. I can work these things out on my own. But I don't know what. Yeah, Donald Gibb. He looks so familiar. Like, I think he's been like a big, heavy guy,
I'm
like
sure.
like fighter or tough guy in a million different like shows and stuff like that.
I don't know.
I'm scrolling now, and it looks like he's done a lot of like 1 or 2 episode kind of gigs,
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just
Probably a
killing
bodyguard in some movie or something like that.
me. Yeah.
Anyways, so there's not a shitload to go through, but you basically find out on the first day of the tournament that the worst person that the last person you want to fight is Chong Li. He's a guy who is psycho. He won last time. He'll kill you. He doesn't give a fuck. Like, he just is just like, he is psycho and crazy. And he also has the record for the fastest knockout, but that's before Frank Dukes took the mat, because Frank Dukes does it in like 0.2 seconds, beats Chong Li's record, and now Chong Li has a blood oath against him. Like, fuck you. I'm mad at you for breaking my record. Then they had another like plot with like this American journalist, Janice Kent, who was investigating the Kumite and tries to, like, I've heard rumors of this.
Can you get me into Kumite? How do I get into Kumite?
You can't go to Kumite. Janice, listen to me. It is no place for you.
Listen.
You try to be the best journalist. I try to be the best fighter.
Listen, yes, I'll have sex with you, but I cannot do the Kumite. I cannot
take you to Kumite, but I can't take you to Pound Town.
I can take you to Bonneville, but at Kumite, this is no go. Don't challenge me.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happens. But they go on a date. They do fuck. And then seemingly, he's like, yeah, I can't take you. He shows up and he leaves her in the bed where they just had sex, and then goes off to fight and gets there. And she is now wearing a completely different outfit and is there. Yeah. And he goes, Janice, how did you get here? And she goes, well, I have my own ways of getting to places. And she found some way, like, you were asking him to go like 30 seconds ago, and now you're here.
Yeah.
How'd this happen? That makes no sense, Janice.
All's fair in love and Bloodsport.
There you go. Anyways, it's going down to the wire here. The tournament's been winding down. It's going to the top people. His friend, Ray Jackson, has to fight Chong Li. And Chong Li beats... You know, it is one of those things, too, a classic thing where Ray Jackson has Chong Li for a second, and it looks like going well, but then he starts celebrating too early. And then, in the meantime, Chong Li's like, figures it out, gets up, and beats the shit out of him, and then takes his bandana, which is his Harley Davidson bandana, which is...
Can't be doing... Harley doesn't just give those out.
You know...
Those are hard to get.
After he got knocked out, Frank Dukes tried to get that bandana back, but Chong Li said, fuck you, he took it. Then it goes to, keeps fighting. Fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme is winning. Chong Li's winning. And it's going to wind down to the two of them. You just know it. But his friend's in the hospital and is like, don't watch out for him. He's like a fucking killer. Like, he kills someone in this tournament.
Yeah.
So he's wild. Then it finally comes down to the moment. But before we get to the moment, we have Forrest Whitaker show back up and be like, time to arrest you.
Yeah.
And instead of arresting him, he fights a couple guards, and then they end up watching him and cheering for him. It's so fucking...
Yeah.
It's so fucking corny.
Yeah.
But when Chong Li shows up to fight Frank, he's wearing the bandana on his leg.
Oh, yeah.
He's wearing Ray Jackson's bandana as a sign of disrespect or a trophy.
Yeah.
And then Jean-Claude Van Damme's like, fuck this.
Yep.
Fuck you.
Yep.
And they have the fight to end all fights. But it looks like it's going Frank Duke's way. He's doing well. And honestly, the martial arts in this movie is pretty impressive. I guess a couple times Jean-Claude Van Damme actually did knock people out by accident. Like, and they use those takes. So like if you ever hit someone in the elbow, like in the face, like that guy actually was knocked out. But they're like, well, he already, I mean, it looks good. So we'll use that footage. Chong Li he's like getting his ass kicked, but he takes this white powder out of his pants and throws it in Jean-Claude Van Damme's face. Now, apparently no one else saw this, or this is allowed in Kumite. I don't know. But now he's blind. And if you don't pick up on the fact that he's blind in the first minute, don't worry. They give you 10 more minutes to figure out that he is, in fact, blind, because he's going, for a very long time. But earlier in the movie, in his training, you see he has a blindfold on, and he is training blindfolded, and he has to learn how to defend himself being blind. So it plays in perfectly now that he is like he meditates and he's back in, and he is beating Chong Li's ass, and he's blind.
Yeah, he flashes back to the training he had when he was a kid, when he was trying to fill in for Shingo, like after he died and all that, where he would sit at the dinner table with his sensei, and he wouldn't even be looking, or he'd be blindfolded, and they would try to chop him, and he'd stop it. He flashed back to all the training that he got as a kid.
Yeah,
and just focused in on that. And then, even though he's blind, he's blocking the shot. He's making the kick. He's doing all that.
Now, let me ask you, Rocco. I hate, we do a lot of things where people are like, oh, you should have, it would have been funnier if you would have done this, and give us suggestions like what we should have done in videos. And I am always like, okay, thanks. But, I'm always like, what, okay, thank you. But I don't take it seriously because, I made it. I don't know. But I had a thought in this movie that I wish they would have done, and I hesitate to even say what it is because it's like, well, who am I? I'm just a guy. But I thought, how cool would it have been if while he was beating Chong Li up, that bandana fell, and then when he's blind, when he meditates, he takes fucking Ray Jackson's bandana and ties it around his head like he had the other one tied in the beginning of the movie, and then fought the whole time like that. That would have been cooler to me.
Too unrealistic.
But he was blind anyways.
But it was probably trying to simplify that. He's doing too much stuff while he's blind. Keep it simple.
Yeah, I guess. But I just thought, man, you have that bandana. You trained with that earlier, kind of. Yeah. To bring it home. If I was making this movie, I would have insisted, have him, the bandana's there. Yeah. Tie it up. Now everyone's like, wow, he's that fucking cool that he's going to beat this world-class martial artist while blindfolded? Only Frank Dukes could do this.
Yep.
Anyways, whatever. So he beats him, and now Frank Dukes wins Kumite. Visits his friend in the hospital, sneaks him a beer, and says, I did it. And it's like, Ray Jackson's like, whatever you need in life, Frank, if you ever call me, I'll be there. And then Janice is there, and she's all into it. She's turned on or something. And then it ends, and it's like, this is based on a true story. This really happened.
Dude, it's 10 screens of how it's a true story.
Yeah, I know.
It's like he did this. He actually was the champion for this year, through this year, and that year. Okay. And then, all right, probably credits now. No, actually, Frank Dukes they say he had 30,000 opponents, and he beat 29,999 of them. Okay.
And Frank Dukes also has the world's largest penis. And Frank Dukes also wanted to go. They wanted him to go to space, but he said no. And then it went. All this shit. It's like, man,
goes away, and then it comes back up. Frank, y'all think Cindy Crawford's hot? My boy Frank Dukes got with her. It says that, and then that goes away, and then it's like the lottery. Yeah, my boy Frank won that
so many times. Okay. He stopped playing. Yeah,
it's just all right, and then that goes away, and it comes back. Director of Schindler's List. Yeah, that's Frank Dukes. Dukes. And then there's an X over Spielberg, and then it's so he won the Oscar.
Yeah,
and then it's there's a picture of the Black Eyed Peas with their Grammys, but they put Frank's head on all of them.
That's what they did.
It just went on and on and on and on. That picture of Obama giving himself the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yep.
It's two Frank Dukeses.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, deuces. He's leaving the stage.
Yeah.
It just goes on and on and on.
Turns out none of that was true, though. That was all.
Oh, I heard 100% of it was
true,
true, but agree to disagree.
Yeah, all of that was either lied by us or Frank Dukes himself. So one or the other.
There you go.
Which is funnier to me, honestly. I think I like it more that it's all made up. That makes me happier.
Oh yeah. The movie's great. That's
great,
all I care about.
But the fact that this guy went through all this to make this story up about himself is fucking hilarious. Like,
That. I don't have an ethical approach to movies like this. My feelings on them anyway. I always believe make the best movie possible. And if it bends reality, was the movie good? That's what I care about.
Yeah.
So, I remember when, I always use this example, but I remember when Saving Mr. Banks came out. It's about the woman who wrote Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of Disney freaks like me that were like, character assassination. It didn't go like this. And I'm just like, I like the movie though. I don't know. Like the documentary, if they make a documentary, that you shouldn't fuck around with.
Sure.
But a fictionalized movie, or you know what I mean, whatever. I'm always like, hey, make the best movie possible.
Yeah. Now,
so this to me, it's like, the fact you made it up, great. Well, it made a great movie. So,
and the thing is, like, the budget was like about 1.5 million.
Yeah.
And it made 50.
Yeah.
And they made like 1,000 sequels, and like it became a whole franchise. So it's like, okay, like you made it up. I mean, the beginning of Fargo said based on a true story, and it's not.
Yeah.
But I kind of like that. It makes it fun, even though people did die because of that lie. But that's not my. I didn't do that.
Not my problem.
I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
Oh man. Yeah.
Anyways, okay. So again, I want to say sorry to everyone about the Lucky Number Slevin debacle. Hopefully you enjoyed Bloodsport more. Do you want to do shakers? I mean, is it time? Because I kind of want to get into what we're doing this month as well. So
sure. Yeah. I mean, not much else to say on this. I just think if you're going to do a martial arts film, this is the vibe. To me, it's like underground fucking fighting organization, corny dialogue, some bad dubbing, some great martial arts. That's what I'm looking for. I would rather watch that than something really polished and clean or like gritty and
that new
I'd
Mortal
rather watch
Kombat
this.
movie we did, the new one.
Yeah.
This is way more interesting to me than that movie.
Yeah. Although I didn't hate that movie.
Really?
I'm not a Mortal Kombat guy. I thought for a newer shitty blockbuster, it was kind of fun. But no, this is like it was still a CGI shit fest, and this is not. This is fun.
Yeah. Well, I guess I did technically pick it, so I will give my shakers.
Yeah.
Cheesy as fuck, corny as hell, acting terrible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a 4 because I thought it was a super fun time. It's a fun ass movie, and do I have notes? Yeah, there's plenty, but who cares? Like, it's like it doesn't matter.
Everything I said a minute ago, just with that, to me, this is the ultimate Saturday afternoon cable TV movie. This comes on, oh, fuck yeah, Bloodsport. This may shock you. I am going to actually go higher.
Wow.
4.5.
Okay, that's fine.
Nothing in this movie, to me, deserves a 5. Even 4.5 is probably like, whoa. But to me, you're looking for martial arts. You want a martial arts movie? I'm going to point you to this one. This is such a great time. You're laughing at it, but you're enjoying it and you're glad you watched it at the same time. It ends and you're like, that fucking ruled, If this is a matinee at a theater in LA or whatever, you're going to have a fucking great afternoon seeing this. True. It's not primetime cinema, but it's great Saturday afternoon cinema.
Yeah. I mean, movies should be enjoyable, and this is enjoyable.
Yeah.
So, this does it for me.
Full thumbs up for me, totally.
Okay, so that's Bloodsport. But this month, we are doing something different. As we said last time, we are going to do a themed month. So the month of September is going to be anime month. So everyone pray for me a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll be watching 4 anime movies.
Yes.
I have seen 0 of them, obviously.
Yes. I have seen 2. I'm trying to change it up.
Yeah.
I'm doing 2 that I've seen that I think, okay, here's what I think will this will be a good one for Shawn to see and we could talk about it. And then I'm picking 2 that I have no clue. Because I want to experience that too, where we both go into something cold and see if we have different perspectives on it,
Yeah.
But yeah, September will be anime month. I imagine October we're gonna do some scary.
Yeah, horror month.
Did you say horror or horror month?
Well, horror.
I'm down to do horror month too.
That's February.
I'll do what I need to get done.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're gonna do anime month. We're gonna also alternate, I think, stuff that I think Shawn might hopefully have a good time, and other stuff that may challenge him more, which may be a good thing or bad thing.
Yeah.
But I'll just say, should I say what we're going to start with?
Let's start it off.
So, I thought it would be good. Let's ease into this month. I feel like just going full-blown, driving the car straight into the brick wall was not going to be a great beginning.
Sure.
Let's drive slowly towards the brick wall and see things on the way.
Yeah, definitely.
We're going to start off as basic anime, as just simple as possible, ease into it as we can. We're going to go to Dragon Ball Z. Now Shawn has done in live action the whole series.
Yeah.
So Shawn has context now that he never did before.
Correct.
And these DBZ movies are the easy listening of anime. You know, there's not much to think too hard about. It's just kind of show up, have a good time. I had trouble deciding because some of the earlier DBZ movies, they're all popcorn. But they're not canon. They're just kind of like, oh, this weird guy showed up. I'm gonna fight him. All right, it's over. We're actually. I had a talk with Shawn.
Yeah.
I think we're actually gonna go to one in continuity. After the Boo saga, but before the time skip. Remember, there's a 10-year time skip at the end
with Oob.
It's before that. It's about, I want to say, maybe a year after Majin Buu is defeated.
Okay.
We had not had new DBZ in years and years and years and years. And in 2013, I think, 14, we got a new movie written by Toriyama. It's canon. Dragon Ball Z, Battle of Gods. It's a reunion of all the characters in DBZ. They come to have a good-ass meal, hang out, see each other. Haven't seen you in years. Oh, how are you doing? So a lot of it is, you get some slice of life, but a new villain reveals himself as well. So...
Okay.
We're going to go easy. And so hopefully Shawn has the context that he'll just be able to pick it up.
I feel like if you gave me a Dragon Ball trivia, I would do pretty good. And I want to clarify again.
Yeah, say it.
I said this before. The only official Dragon Ball piece of media I have ever watched, was Evolution. I have never seen an episode. I've never seen a movie. I've never watched a cutscene of a video game. I don't know shit except for what we have filmed.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm very familiar with the characters now and the lore of this.
Yeah.
Only through what we have filmed here.
Yeah.
So this will be my first viewing of a Dragon Ball thing ever.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
it'll be fun to see if you were like, oh, I picked it up, no problem. Yeah, I'm in.
I almost feel pretty confident that I'll be able to pick this up.
Yeah.
So, so come along with us. I swear to God, we won't change the movie again. I'll never do that again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm curious about this. So let's next week. Welcome to Anime Month. Let's watch Battle of the Gods, Dragon Ball Z, and see what we think. See what I think, at least. And thanks for watching.
See you next time. Oh, we could have done a see you next time preview. It is Anime Month. We could have done a Hey, I'm Goku. Next week on Movie Club, we'll be watching, but we didn't do it, so fuck it.
Okay, fuck it.